Hey, this is Deface. I make things for you to put into your tabletop role-playing games, and today is week 2 of making a setting, and today we're going over where is it? There's Nalgrim, which is like a forest, but also boggy swamp area, like half and half. One part forest, other part swamp. Um, Adjacent, it says it right here. It's to the west of Morthorpe, of what we made in the first week of this series, and so it's like a boggy badlands and also a forest. It's pretty. It's a large like wilderness area. Last time we made just a town, and this time we're making we made a a wild area. And so it's I put swamp because it is like primarily a swamp, and like the focus is on the swamp, but there's also like the forest too. And so again, like location in relation to everything else, Morthorpe is to the west, and unnamed large city is to the east, which is going to be this is going to be the next episode for this series. And it is currently warped by the evil magics of chromatic dragons and a coven of hags, and so that these are like the primary threats, and just like sort of primary story of this sort of area. Like when I made this, I was sort of thinking of like, what would this be like if it was like an area in Baldur's Gate 3, just taking a couple of things and looping them all together, like sort of giving them all connections, and just that being like that area story that you have to or can fulfill. And so it's split up into, I have it split up into 5 locations, but the 2 main locations are the Ranshank Woods and Nullpool. And so Ranshank Woods is like it's the part more closer towards Morthorpe. So if you were to leave Morthorpe and be headed to the unnamed large city, and you would go through Nalgrim, it would be like this is where you would first start out. So Ranshank Woods, it's the lair of the young green dragon Zealdror, who is the first dragon in Nalgrim and is currently fighting against Torsilth for total control of the land. Torsilth is mentioned later in this, but Torsilth is a young black dragon. And so that's one of the sort of overarching stories of this area is 2 dragons warring for dominion over this land. And then there's also this location of the Hag Coven's Hag Eye, currently in Zealdror's Horde for safekeeping. So there's also, as mentioned up here, there's a Coven of Hags here, and they're aligned with Zealdror. So all the sort of forces at play in this area, you could describe their relationships as either like red, yellow, or green. Red being they're against each other, green being they're for each other, yellow being they're neutral. So like the hags are green towards Zealdror, and Zealdror's green with the hags because they're like sort of working together. I would say like Zealdror isn't so much like fighting for like the hags goals. Like say like the hags wanted to do something that Zealdror didn't really want to do, Zealdror would not really help them out, but they're like aligned and they'd work together. Like if someone, like if Torsilth was like making a move against the hags, Zealdror would help the hags out because they're aligned. And then the woods are home to vicious animals such as gnolls, owlbears, lycanthropes, and giant spiders because of the choking magic of the dragons and the hags. So just the woods are very like warbled and bleak and dark because of like the influence of the evil magic of the hags who are in the next part of the woods, and because of the dragon, like the presence of the dragon. And then for the lair of the young green dragon Zealdror, it's just if you like look in Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, it gives like an example lair for a green dragon. so really, like, Zeal just lives, like, in the forest, underneath the forest, like, in trees, whatever. Like, you could really just place Zeal anywhere in um the Ranshank Woods, but, like, I would say he's, like, just, you could put really wherever it's convenient, probably close-ish to the Ranshank Gallows. Um, like, just copy and paste that green dragon lair from Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. And then the Ranshank Gallows, this is the lair of the 3 green hags, Ariete, Arwen, and Antha. So, like, the 3 are together because they're coven, coven rules and everything. So, this is the most corrupted and dangerous part of Ranshank Woods, and the spot gets its name from the vines on the trees growing into nooses all on their own. And the location of the lair of the green hags is at the end of a dirt trail that splits off from the main road towards Fenshire, which is the next area there. But like, Ranshank Gallows is just, like, very dark, corrupted, twisted, and it's where you would find the Coven of Green Hags. And it's just, like, again, here's another force, they're nearby this force they're aligned with, and it's just, they likely show up, they'd likely be someone, or, like, an entity that the players, like, go up against, and it's just, throwing something into this, wild area that players can certainly get involved with, and especially with the, Hag Eye being involved, like, if the players want to take on the Green Hags, this is, like, again, like, a lower level area. It's right next to, like, the starting town sort of area. In a coven, Green Hags are challenge rating 5, and there's 3 of them, so that'd be a very deadly encounter. But, if you destroy a Hag Coven's Hag Eye, they take, I think, like, 3d10 damage, and they're blinded for 24 hours. And so that's an incredible advantage that would make this a very possible and maybe even not trivial but easy combat encounter. But, like, that Hag Eye is in the horde of Zealjor who's aligned with these green hags, so it's adding this layering that then gets layered again if, like, the players go to Black Dragon Torsilth and, like, work with Torsilth to then get to attack Zealjor, get to Zealjor's horde, destroy the Hag Eye, and then be able to take out the hags. But then again, the players could align with the green hags and Zealjor to take out Torsilth. It's just adding forces that are ingrained in the world and in the environment that the players can then work with or work against, and so then they could either pick a side or not pick a side and just attack both, or maybe they could play one side to then take out one, like, play with Torsilth to take out Zealjor and the hags, and then go after Torsilth. And then so then next is Fenshire, and bringing in another force in this setting. It's a small rundown elven town on the edge of the Ranshank Woods that is often targeted by Torsilth. So again, like, say the players side with Torsilth to take out the green hags and Zealjor, the Fenshire, the people of Fenshire won't like the players now. Like, they'll be like, you just helped out the person who the dragon who attacks us. You helped our villain. It's a small wooden town built on. So it's a wooden town built on the stilts of a strangely alkaline pool. It's just this is like, they're elves. They're kind of like magical, very natural and pure. But then also a fen is an alkaline bog. So it's just just including science, nomenclature, and like lore around the occupants. And the town used to be green and blush, but the evil magics have poisoned the town, and the presence of Torsilth has imbibed the people with an incredible ennui, which is like in like the monster manual and Fizban's, black dragons have like an aura of despair and ennui, that like if someone's like a permanent resident nearby a lair of a black dragon, they like just feel depressed. So let's just bring that into it. And the town is led by an exhausted wood elf named Falinus Umleth. So just sort of giving a face to these people, someone that could act as like the representative for the intentions and desires of Fenshire as a whole, and someone for the players to meet with and talk with about all the threats and everything. So that's Fenshire, sort of like the town of this area, but it's small and not like as in depth as Morthor, because like the focus of Nalgrim isn't the town, it isn't Fenshire, it's like the forces at play in Nalgrim, whereas like last episode, Morthorpe, the focus of that place was like the town and like specifically the people of the town, whereas this, it's not really about like the shop owner of Fenshire. It's about the dragons and the hags and the whole corrupting magic of those forces. And then there's Nalpool, which is another civilization, but not as typically like friendly as Fenshire. This is a half-submerged civilization of bullywugs, lizard folk, and a giant crocodile. The town is made primarily of wood and is led by a ferocious lizard folk named Yuknexel. They're indifferent towards Fenshire, and they hate the dragons and the hags because these forces have corrupted the bog and have taken so much of the available food. And they're initially defensive and hostile towards the players. Just these are sort of like, you could make encounters out of bullywugs and lizard folk and maybe even their giant crocodile. But they're also like a potential force that could work with the players, because they hate the dragons, they hate the hags. Like, if the players are like, we'll take out the dragons, we'll take out the hags, they'll be like, all right, we'll help you, we'll work with you. So then the players could convince them to take down the evil magics. But it's also sort of like the playing with the whole, I guess like Lae'zel mentality, where like there was plenty of discussion about how people just would not like align with Lae'zel or like Lae'zel, or even like do like the romance route for Lae'zel in Baldur's Gate 3 because she starts out rude, and so now these the people of Nalpool start out as hostile, as quote unquote rude. So the players may not want to help them, like even though they could provide a potential like the potential resources and everything. Players may not want to help them out because like, oh, they've been attacking me, but they've just been attacking because they're very desperate because of the dragons and the hags. And then lastly, there's the Fenshire Catacombs, which is the lair of the young black dragon Torsilf, who is currently warring with Steeljaw, and it's the catacombs for Fenshire, but it has since become the lair of Torsilf, and has also begun acting as an offering grounds, because whenever someone of Fenshire passes away, Torsilf enforces that someone of that town carries that deceased person to the catacombs, from which the carrier never returns. So it's pretty much whenever somebody dies, because elves are immortal in their homeland, the evil magic's warping the land makes it no longer their like homeland. So that's like another threat, another motivation for Fenshire, which I have forgotten to write, so I'll add that before posting this. But whenever somebody dies, it's pretty much losing two people, because like Torsilf demands that somebody takes that dead body to the catacombs, where then Torsilf will eat that carrier, and then if nobody brings the dead body, then he'll just attack the town and just really just beat down the already beaten down. So just with like writing out 5 locations and just filling out a couple of questions and like what its like current situation is. It's very loose, but it's very solid. You know, like Zealdror's lair doesn't have like a set location. It's just like you take the Fizzbin's lair example and just place it wherever it's convenient. But it's also like solid, as in like, you know, there's Zealdror, you know, Zealdror's aligned with the hags, you know, Zealdror's against Torsulf, and you know that Torsulf is against the people of Fenshire and Nullpool, and that the people of Fenshire and Nullpool are against the hags and the dragons. And so it's just like very open for both interpretation and for adjustment and influence. Like the players can make a decision, and that could just like ripple out to like every bit of Nollagrum. There's just a bunch of variables that can be twisted by the players and engage with the players. And so when the players walk out of Nollagrum, when they like finish with this area, there's the potential for them to have like an immense effect on the land, and to really just like sort of like be like the Shadowfell in Baldur's Gate 3, where you could walk away from it and the Shadow Curse is gone. You know, you've fixed all of the problems of that area, or you could walk away from it and the land is still plagued. You know, just like a lot of room for the players to have influence and really just make it feel like they are like the heroes of this world, where like going through their adventure, if they were to look back, they're going to be thinking like, oh, if our characters didn't exist, all of this would have happened anyways. Like just really personalizing the adventure. And so yeah, see ya.